Hey everyone, this is Freddie with Superbike Unlimited, and I'm bringing you another update on our ZX-10RR Superbike project. This one's going to be kind of brief, but we're out here at Barber Motorsports Park. Superbike Track Time is hosting an event that's actually a 3-day. We're only going to be riding the 2 days. We were here yesterday, which was Saturday, and today. So yeah, we're out here just trying out this new surface, which is, as I mentioned before, it's really smooth, but it's also really difficult on tires. So that's the main thing we're trying to do this weekend, is try to find a setup that's going to work, because it has changed the settings that we're going to want to use in the fork and in the shock, as well as tire pressures and tire compounds. And also we have a new livery on the ZX-10. This is something we just did. Wanted to change it up a little bit, and here's the first look at that. So while we're at it, we'll show you a little bit of wear. We're going to do one more session after this, and I'm going to run this tire again, but I just wanted to show you this since we just brought it in. This is the type of tire wear we're seeing, and this is with a Pirelli SC0. I knew this was not going to be a like a really good tire to run at this track right now, just because everything's so new and we're seeing this really aggressive wear. But we're trying different pressures. We started this thing out at about 28, which is a lot higher than what we normally run, and then on this last one we tried 25. So it didn't really improve anything, and we're just going through it really quickly. I don't know if you can see, but it's ridged pretty nicely. And then prior to that, we had an SC1 on here, and we ran that similar deal. We started it off at around 27 and wound up dropping it down to about 23.5 just to see what would happen. So far, we're seeing the SC1 for sure lasted longer than that 0, and the grip was probably just as good, honestly. That's the one thing, even though this place is really hard on tires right now, the grip is exceptional. That's probably what's causing this wear. It just has tremendous grip. I haven't really been able to spin this thing. So I think really an SC2 is probably going to work just fine. So anyway, we're going to get some onboard. Obviously that tire's shagged, so we're not going to be seeing any super fast laps, but at least give you some onboard footage, because I do want you guys to hear the new MoTeC system. The way we've got everything set up, as you heard before, everything was kind of a little too aggressive in some spots, and there were areas where we thought it was actually not aggressive enough. So the idea now is that this thing is going to be, we've set those sectors up that I was talking to you about. So now the thing has tailored traction control and power delivery and engine braking settings corner to corner, and it's working really, really well. So yeah, we'll have some footage for you coming up next, so stay tuned for that. so that's a wrap. We got everything done that I think we needed to do. Did all of our tire testing. Got a pretty decent setup on the bike. I'm sure that pending the weather and obviously we're going to be running a little quicker in race company. But I feel like everything is going to be pretty close. We'll make some small adjustments once we get here for the GNF. But overall, I feel like we did pretty good. We just finished loading everything up, which everything's working out pretty good for that because it's actually starting to rain. We have a little bit of a wet surface now. So yeah, we got everything done. And also, I'm really glad we did this because we identified an issue. I don't know that I would have really spent more time with this bike on the dyno before the GNF because we're not really making any more big changes between now and then. But looking at our data, we saw that there was some fueling inconsistency. So I was looking over why that would be. And, you know, at first I was making some changes, but it seemed to be really inconsistent. And the beauty of this MoTeC system is really once you get everything dialed in, it uses all of its available sensors to make sure that your map is pretty spot on, even without closed loop. But yeah, we saw some pretty big deviation. So we'll just show you a little bit here. What we have is we had an issue with the fuel pump. So what's interesting about that is it, let's see where we're gonna, yeah, so we have an issue with fuel pressure. So essentially what we're having here is a variance of about 1.5 bar in fuel pressure. See these big changes here. And what that basically means is that we just need to get the fuel pump apart and probably clean the filter and, you know, that kind of thing. But it's the beauty of having data like this. Of course, a standard ZX-10, you can't just add like there's no channel for fuel pressure. So we have, of course, had to add all that stuff on this bike. We have a special adapter on the fuel rail that allows us to monitor fuel pressure, as well as we have oil pressure, oil temperature, a number of things just to kind of like monitor the health of the engine. And also in situations like this is something that if we didn't have all that data and it went unchecked and we just kept riding, you could burn something up, and at the very least engine performance was going to be down. That's what made me start looking at this, is just because I could tell that on some of the straightaways thing just wasn't making the power that it should. So something that we looked at. But yeah, we're all pretty good. I'll show you this tire. Of course, we again, this is an SC0, and I only did like 3 or 4 laps on that last session, and I don't know if you probably can't really see it because it's dark in here, but that thing is completely smoked. I mean, there is technically still a little bit of dot left, but this is a tire that probably has like 15 or 20 laps, which at a pretty moderate pace. We got into the low 30s. It's not, you know, in the old days you could run a Pirelli like that here for a lot, you know, and for us to have a tire that looks like that after a couple of sessions, it says a lot about the new surface. So I think that based on what we're seeing here, we're probably going to be racing on SC1s for the GNF. So take that for what it's worth. So yeah, that's going to be it for this time. I think we're probably not going to be doing a lot between now and the GNF. So the next video you see maybe for that final race of the year, and hopefully we can do some fast laps and have some fun down there. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.